Alright, there we go. Hello everyone, how's it going? Sorry, microphone was off. Hello you two for the first time. The name's Santon, Sally. Seriously, for sure. I play usually acid with a One Piece TCG. Sometimes I do. I'm not too shabby at a card game called Alestos. So apologies if I'm not paying much attention to YouTube chat. Hello everyone on Twitch. Oh, Phoenix, congrats on Twitch. Hi, X. Hello, Jill. Hello, on. Chowie, Tayoki. We're probably gonna have Dual Life firing off in the background. Then we need to sort some Alestos cards. We need to do the long-awaited sundial counting stream, which I think I'm going to schedule for tomorrow. I think tomorrow's going to be a 2-block stream, if that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we have sundials to count, but we also need to start our adventures into Wizard 101. What? I made you talk on your coffee? Oh, whoopsie. Hello, Zephyr Arcade chat. Welcome in, Zephyr Arcade. They are a TCG and hobby shop that are going to be out and about doing things like Warhammer 40k, Land Archive, and unfortunately, I think they're moving away from Yu-Gi-Oh! Ironically. If y'all are new to the Santon streams, we spent a portion of the stream doing absolutely nothing before we accomplish something and return to doing absolutely nothing. It's a rhythm arcade? Okay, my bad. I didn't look that deep into your... I was just reading what y'all was selling online. A rhythm arcade, interesting. The only kind of rhythm games I really see in my area, despite probably being in an area that could afford a rhythm arcade specifically, tends to be at Round 1, you know, which is a Japanese arcade chain. I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. Thank you for the headcat boost and thank you for the rich headcat for 20. So this is all regular cats, and these are the rich headcats. You'll see the Dragon Nails headcat that I animated myself. We're going to eat this fish eventually. I'll have to check out your message. Thank you for the follow. My screenshot was kind of sporadic, so I'm all over the place all the time. Yeah, y'all don't mind if I just do business stuff on stream. I am, in fact, based in the US, SoCal. Born and raised. I usually have a P.O. box, but if you have an email, I can send you a more direct address. I'll also type that. Well, it's expensive. I didn't choose this place. My folks chose this place, and now I just live here. Also, thank you. How do I navigate to someone's chat? If y'all are interested in Zephyr Arcade, go check out their website. ZephyrArcade.com. Look at me. Hashtag not sponsored. We don't get sponsorships. We might be hashtag sponsored for a certain portion though. Wink wink nudge nudge. Who knows? No promises, chat. No promises. Fish. Fish then card game. Fish then card game. Maybe card game new fish. I still can do a live chat. I told you. I'm just a bozo. Rhythm Game Arcade is like the top bar in your description. I just can't read. I'm a TCG player. They tend to not do that. Oh, Alchemist. Welcome on in. Lucian, thank you for the one gifted sub to Phoenix. Never say never about sponsorship. I will never say no if terms are agreeable, but you know, I'm also not... I'm not putting myself out there for very much because I know I'm not as... I have much different energy than the other types of gals that you see doing YouTube and stuff. So, you know, I appreciate people hanging out. I appreciate anyone that wants to support me. I'll always be supporting the other sisters out there, but you know. Did you miss the first taste? You did not miss the first taste. I only have one fish tonight. We only have one fish tonight. Normally I would get two. We only have one fish. Yeah, if we ever get sponsored by Krispy Kreme, I think I'm going to gain like 40 pounds. And I want to. Y'all know I can eat an entire dozen donuts in one sitting. You know, when I was younger, chat, that was like a regular old weekend for me. I told you about the Flying Dutchman, right? With Warhammer mini painting with feet. I don't think my feet are that dexterous. But actually, chat, funny story about Warhammer. Pause. Let me get up really quick. This is really funny. Okay, I forget what the Warhammer... Okay, so there's a line of Warhammer called... Is it... Age of Sigmar, Age of Sigmar. Chat. I've never shown it... I've never shown audio off on stream before. So, I actually own... I have found a long time back, at a garage sale, of all places, I own a Star Drake. I own a Star Drake. Like, it's broken. And I told myself one day I would learn how to fix it and then we could paint it or something. I've had this for years. I got it for like $20 or something. He's a little broken, but nothing to say that we can't fix him. The little bozo that sits on him is also broken. But like, chat, you know, I'm sure we could fix things if we try. Yeah, lots of glue, a little bit of love. I named him Audie. Because I figured he'd be an art project. He sits in one of my drawers because I don't know what to do with him. Hello, Sluggies. You can barely eat 3 donuts now without feeling like, yeah, fair enough. I told you about the Flying Dutchman, right, chat? So a Flying Dutchman is where you go to In-N-Out and you ask for one of their patties, like animal style or like Flying Dutchman style. Then you go to Krispy Kreme. You get 2 Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. And then you take the burger and you put it in between the donuts and you eat it. I don't suggest it if you want to live a long life. But you know, I used to eat that a lot back in college. Their definition of animal style is a little bit different. I think you would also get a protein style as well if you want like some lettuce with your thing. I'm gonna go put Audie away. Just Lord knows we're not using him tonight. But funniest thing, I own this. I've done nothing with it. But we do know a little bit about Warhammer. Like, not very much, but I'm aware of it in the space. In the space of the fact that we play a lot of D&D, chat. Y'all know me. I do Pathfinder. Alright, let's see. I don't know if I already redeemed over to Cat's Alchemist, so what is that? Ollie, how you doing? So yeah, we're going to eat this fish, then we're going to sort TCG book, and that's all stream plans for tonight. Also, hello Skyhawk, multi-stream lobster. And you listen. If y'all can't see Skyhawk, it's because I don't know how to get YouTube chat on this screen. We'll be fine. So, my favorite type of taiyaki is custard filled. They have different options such as Nutella, red bean, sometimes they do Oreo. There's a really good cheese one from this company I get it from. It's a place called Somi. They're really good. It's a very nice fish. Hello, LV. It's going to get eaten. I'm sorry. This thing is on the menu, chat. Lobster's not on the menu. This fish on the menu. So this is a custard-filled one. I'll take a bite and show you all. Also, like, in real life, I don't eat this slow, chat. I eat really fast. But you can't see it really well because the yellow blends in with the... The custard blends in with the dough. Fish of friends, not food. You know, they always say it's a dog-eat-dog world. How much to get a second fish? The prices at Somi really aren't that expensive, but the only Somi that's probably open around this time is probably across town. I don't know if that makes it easier to see the custard. Like, again, it blends in, so it's really not that easy to show off to you all. Look, cat, you gotta stay on top, okay? I gotta be on top of the food chain. I gotta be in top cut at every event I play. I can't help it, chat, you know? It's just the laws of nature. I can't take the L, as the kids say. Is it heated, chilled? So at Somi they make these fresh, so it's warm and crispy. Thank you. I will enjoy my food. I kind of wish I got more of it in retrospect, but... You know. I was splitting it with my roommate, so... Okay, as gluttonous as I would like to be, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Hello, Shane. Thank you for the follow. So, chat, surely we will never regret our life decisions. Surely when we start sorting through all of our books for illustrials, right? Nothing bad will happen. So today's multi-stream. I wanted to test the multi-stream out because we have to do the long-awaited, long-anticipated sundial counting stream. For those of y'all who don't know, I used to own over 1,000 copies of a card called Dragonels in another TCG. Dragonels is from Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. In another TCG called Illustrials. Oh, 80s Fever. Of course it's tasty. So in Illustrials, I collect an Illustral called Sundial. And recently at the IFL event for Alessio's recent opening, Cassini, I received a lot of sundials from very many generous donors. Hello, Dorothy. And so, we must count all the sundials that we receive from Cassini to give proper statistics. If y'all don't know, every time we receive sundials at an event, I put out a statistic on what copy of sundial received, the foiling, any nexus or ascensions, whether or not it comes in a sleeve, and a whole bunch of other statistics. So, we have to keep that in mind while we're doing it. It's also important information we need to finish up the sundial video, which we got cutting in the background, so we're gonna finish up this fish. We're going to sort through regular Alestros. We're gonna probably draw the thumbnail for tomorrow's video. We're gonna talk about my recent hit tweet, chat. As y'all know, Santon only makes banger tweets, right? As y'all know. Our banger tweet recently has been about sundial. This one's doing real numbers, chat. We actually got like, over 200 likes on that one. Every single Alessio's player came out, yeah. We gotta further the sundial agenda, What is the filling to bread ratio? I would say like it's a good like 40 to 60%. The tail usually tends to be hollow, and it was usually in the center belly of the fish is where the filling is. I think it's a good ratio because they also do at this place for me. You can get taiyaki with the ice cream. So I think it's a very good ratio if you're getting it with the ice cream. And even when you're not getting it with the ice cream, if you have a richer fill-in, such as like Nutella, or some of their other options, it's a good balance. Hey, how you doing? Welcome on. We'll see. I usually don't get the chance to go to too many places nowadays. Because you'll know, I'm a busy gal. We're a busy gal. Oh! Yeah, no, there's Mitsuwas all over the place, Bushin. You're chilling. There's Mitsuwas in SoCal. They got some in Texas. I'm sure they have them all over the place. I think there's also one in, like, somewhere in Illinois, I think. It's a very popular chain of Japanese supermarkets. Alright. So, I'm going to go take this out, give the gloves a little bit of a clean. We're gonna sort through Alessio's book and, so, some of y'all who I'm sending decks to, I've actually held out sending decks to because one, Lobster Week was coming up and y'all tend to be regular donors. And then two, with the new set coming out, I figured I would have some bulk probably to update your Alessio's deck. So, on top of sorting the bulk, we're going to... The decks we didn't already send out from last time, we will spruce up with some new cards. And then we recently got some additional starter decks that at first I was going to give out as is, just straight out of the box. But I figured, you know what, no. Chat, if we want people to play Alestos, we have to give them the best Alestos experience. So, we're gonna see if we can do some small upgrades to some of the decks out of the box. The most difficult one to give an upgrade to is going to have to be the Homies deck, unironically. Bear Bomb doesn't have any new support in the upcoming set. But we can try to cook with it. We could just see if we have enough cards to make another bear bomb or like a lower power bear bomb. Champions of Zeus get a lot of support in the new set, so that one's gonna be a pretty easy one to upgrade. And there's a lot of good water options as well. Unfortunately, I don't think they have any extra Lorcacorns, but considering it's Poseidon, we could give it a Poseidon upgrade. So that's gonna be fun to cook after we sort out some cards. So on the next dual life will be RB, and now we can Macedor, please. Cat Macedor hates this. If I click it enough times, surely. We're going to keep clicking this tab. We're going to keep clicking this. Hello, Frostbite. Cat, you know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Macedor hates us. Okay, my client has been... Oh, pause. The client's woken again. Let's go. Diamond Gaming. The client's been bugged for months now, chat. The client has been bugged for months now. So, what are we munching? We just finished up our tie-up. And I was gonna go toss this out, give the gloves a cleaning, and we're gonna start driving in the co-op war. Get our hands on some physical TCG. So that's like 3 of you all from last time from the decks that I didn't send out the deck to. So yeah. Alright, let me make sure we keep the fish out of the Alright. So we have one box of lifesteal that we already opened. We should potentially have another box coming soon. No promises per se, but I believe we should have a creator box coming. Like, we had Glacios as our box popper. We also have a bunch of cards we tried to bring back from Casino as well. So Capwigos would be an interesting upgrade to the side. Yeah, 3 side. I'm just going to start making pies. So today's stream is us yapping, sorting cards. Tomorrow we do the long-awaited sundial stream. On top of a double Wizard 101. So the newest set of Alessos presents something pretty interesting, chat. In the current set of Alessos, we are getting the rise of game plan decks. Long gone are the days where you had to kind of sit there and play for your life. Now instead, we have more focus on decks having a more footed identity. And with these footed identities, it allows for a lot more interesting gameplay. Like before it was kind of just like vote format, you know, play out a guy swing. Now there's a lot more interesting stuff going on overall. I think this is a good thing. At least me personally, I think this is a good direction for the game to go. With every deck kind of having its own identity, it allows certain decks that like are emerging out of the meta to be a little bit more powerful than other ones to feel more unique. Instead of just like, oh, which decks have access to like the strongest guys. It's more like, okay, I know that they're playing Dionysus, so I have to make sure to play around these cards. For post side, since they're on Dionysus, I will set them to X cards. I find that very interesting, and it's a nice change of pace from the before times. And it's just, you know, naturally that just comes along with the card game overall progressing. It's a long time coming, chat. Long time coming. I think it's also good for us to figure out what I own. So if I need any coins, we can pick them up. You're going to lose a lot of water and earth cards in this set, as per the titular name of the set, Life Sleep. Which is a focus on earth and water cards, if you're open to it. The primary earth strategy that is coming out of this set is the new Divine Dionysus, which currently has Alesso's newest mechanic. Said mechanic being Enraged and Dazed. It is a new status effect, and they are mutually exclusive. So if an Alesso is enraged, it cannot be dazed. And once an Alesso is dazed, it is no longer enraged, and vice versa. Being enraged forces an Alesso to have to attack, and being dazed makes it so for the turn an Alesso cannot attack. Pretty straightforward overall. But why that's kind of compelling is because now there's other options other than the two main cards that would stop combat, like stop an attack, would be primarily Gorgon's Haze or Shield Fertility, or Tsunami. But now that there's other options, decks don't have to rely on Tsunami, which is a water counter, entirely to stop attack. So decks like Earth can play more models with it. As can just like any other deck in game. There are other runes such as Body of Light, a solar rune, which negates an attack and also allows you to heal spirits. And so with these new cards coming out, the meta has shaken up a lot. I'm kind of a fan. I know not everyone's a fan, but I'm personally a fan. Once we get these sorted out, we'll probably talk a little bit more about this deck. There's also a lot of new interesting support for older Alessos such as Kakatuka. In the form of the... I don't see it right now, but when we find it. In the form of the new small people. which I actually haven't seen a single copy of the small tuba. It's a little concerning. I don't know if maybe that thing is rare or something. I have not seen a copy of the small tuba to the point where, like, either one is not included in the set, or two, this thing was, as the kids say, short. There's also support for Fingers and Haboofing, which have been a long ignored strategy in favor of other cards. We didn't pour any, but there's also very interesting new cards for Luna as well. There is now a new Luna phase. There is Rise from the Shadows, which we don't have, but it's fun. I'm gonna look through the other boxes we bought. To make we sorted out all possible. I could have sworn I brought back more cards in this. Maybe we're just crazy. Maybe we're just tonight's a lot of chill, a lot of yapping. We're hanging out. We're having a good time, hopefully. So some good news, chat. Some good news. A lot of... So I had planned to actually make Age Without Sweet Fun this weekend. Well, today. That didn't happen because we had to help out our folks with something. But the good thing is that because we helped out our folks with something, good things are happening for our folks. In a phase. So good things are happening, and if y'all didn't know, one of my uncles was going to have some trouble with work. But they are no longer going to have those troubles, so that's good. We take I'm just sorting. Oh, how are you? We're just hanging out today. I'm sorting through a bunch of books. Oh, I thought this was live stream, but this looks like a bunch of Firestorm, but that's fine. We'll also sort through the Firestorm. I would also like to try to construct other deck options. Y'all know that it's a process. It's definitely a process. I'm also thinking, I don't know if we can do it once a week. Maybe once every 2 weeks. I think having like an organizing deck... Not deck building, like organizing desk cleaning type productivity stream, co-working type stream. I think that would be a fun thing to do. I think to keep myself and my items organized, that would be nice. I also finally get to show out off a card I won this weekend, or the other weekend at Kissimmee. Chat, this is Kneel Before Me. Kneel Before Me is a custom divine. Kind of like you'll see either Distant Coda, Trishula, or Bean Soldier. So we actually paired into Neil in Swiss at Kissimmee, and we ended up beating Neil and getting Neil's divine. So that was a neat little thing. That was a really cute pickup. Also, chat, the hollow first lights have a use now. They have a use now. The hollow first lights, they have a use. Because Solar best deck, chat. Solar best deck. Solar's performing very well right now in the middle. Now she does bug for them. Alessio's recently released a ban list. I also traded for some cards at Kissimmee. I traded for some Hermes so that I could give away a Hermes deck. I traded for some Poseidons to further the Poseidon deck of Dino. We also got this very pretty Equilink. And this is an entire playset of Equilink. There's only new one. It's limited to one as we had pulled a full art Dionysus from our entry packs. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with him. Oh, thank you for the follow. I know he's interesting. But yo, I'm always trying to keep your best interest in. Ironically, we actually also have a reverse stellar first light. We also have 2 P gleams, which we're not going to use, but the reverse stellar first light is like cute. I never thought this card would see so much play. So currently, we're just going to continue to do it. We have a lot of like tournament. How was Lobster Week? I'm okay. Lobster Week was solid. I think we had a good time with Lobster Week. We have a couple more things to still do for Lobster Week. We owe Bushin and the rest of y'all a Yu-Gi-Oh! Mod TCG Swap Simulator stream. We're going to attempt to do Wizard 101 sometime. We'll see how that goes. Once the flow is here. Yeah, Bush, and we still need to do the TCG short film. So we got a really cool sundial item. Someone was kind enough to give us the sundial mat. I'm not gonna roll it out, but there's a sundial on that, which I appreciate. MTG. Hello on this side. Look like this is the last rules, but like I'm sure it looks really similar to MTG. You thought that was Flint bread? You know what? I can see it. I can see it looking like that. I think that's a valid comparison. Masters Gaming? Yeah, alright. Yeah. Yeah, we're just hanging out in Yapping. Hanging out, yapping, and preparing bed. Much on the agenda this evening. I probably should have stolen like more rares from people. By steal, I mean Penthouse was opening a bunch of products, so I should have tried to like scoop up more rare cards from them in retrospect. But surely we'll be fine. Surely. Packages around where we hid all the cards. Hid all the cards. One time. Surely they're around here. Likely they could not have gotten them. Also, shoutouts to the VGen chat. We finally got our first organic commission on the VGen. Dude. Thank you for supporting me. Not the deck. That is not the deck. Here's the problem with one of the bears decks. I wonder if I can actually turn this from a bears deck into like a bear board deck. So there's a new bear card that came out in this set. We have Ursia, Champion of Hestia. And when a player casts a bear or less, you can force an opponent to burn form. It makes me wonder if we can do something with that. I don't have a list right now, unfortunately. But that's something to keep things considered. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to find where half of these cards. This is why we have to have constant cleaning screens. My stuff is all over there. I could be more organized. Our lives would be easier. Yeah. This is That's the same. I did say that definitely ain't. This might be one of them. This might be one of them, chat. But oh, Zelda, thank you for the hit. Okay, that's the cat. Surely this is one. Let me put the bear's deck tour aside and we can figure out the bear's deck in a little bit. We had already mailed out Bear Bomb, I think. So. I believe this should be the deck list for photosynthesis, which we could try to give a little bit of an upgrade to. All things considered. Maybe it's just random bulk, actually. This might just be random bulk. Okay, never mind. This is just random bulk. I suppose we should sort through this too. Oh, great. Welcome on in. I know people have been asking for the YouTube stream. So, we're trying our best. Apologies if it's not the best quality, but we will try, chat. Y'all have demanded. The audience has a demand for Lobsters on YouTube. So here we are. We are now Lobsters. And I suppose for those of y'all who are like requesting voice, y'all can now watch the YouTube video. If for some reason y'all just don't like watching YouTube. So I suppose we'll just sort through this miscellaneous bulk. I don't know why I thought this was like a real deck. Thanks for stopping by, Kid Kid. You have a big day tomorrow. Good luck with whatever you got. We're here hanging out with Warley, so don't worry too much about us. How about I take all the live stream and we put it back into the live stream board? That might be a smart idea. Now, where did I put the live stream box? That would be a smart idea to remember where we put our stuff. War would be. To keep track of where we. Okay, definitely has to be right here. We was just holding all of like 2 minutes ago. Yeah. Oh, YouTube Premium? Makes sense. I'm normally on Twitch because I stream on Twitch. With everything going on with Twitch, you try not to use it. I will say that, like, Twitch is definitely, like, a weird spot for creators. So I get it. I totally get it. On, like, one hand, Twitch is a good platform for, like, growing, right? Paid with YouTube Premium? If I got paid on YouTube, the answer would be yes. Streamers get paid on YouTube if you can. So, here's my leading theory as to why a lot of people don't stream on YouTube. It's because they don't make any money on YouTube stream until they qualify for money. Does that make sense? But don't worry, chat. We're gonna fix that. We're going to fix that because we're going to make video content. Then we'll get monetized on YouTube. Surely. Surely, chat. Surely. We will fix that ourselves. You know, we can't just avoid YouTube. I mean, we totally could avoid YouTube forever, I suppose. I totally could avoid YouTube for all of eternity. However, I suppose I will be nicer to it. But where did my live stream box go? Where did the box that hold all these cards go? We were just holding it. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. We just had this box. I'm gonna lose my mind. I literally just had it. We just had it a couple of seconds ago. Now it's gone. It's gone! There you go. It's making me look nuts. Yeah, it's making me look nuts! But it's fine. I'll be streaming on Twitch at the same time. So it's not like it does us any harm for us to stream. And plus, if we get supported on YouTube continuously, eventually YouTube will get to the same time as Twitch. Ideally, I suppose. I think I'm partially, like, inspired. Thank you. Thank you for the bitch fusion. So, chat, I've never really considered myself a really, like, watchable streamer, I suppose. Like, I think people... Okay, it's not that I'm unwatchable. Let me rephrase that. I don't think I have, like, the energy to be very popular, in my opinion. However, it's been, like, a little bit over 2 years. And y'all seem to like hanging out with me. So that gives me a little bit of a vote of confidence, I suppose. My ability to make content. As silly as that sounds. So... I think since there is definitely people who like to hang out, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to attempt to do like a stream growth type activity. But I don't want to deviate too much from the heart of where things are. At the end of the day, I'm just gonna be out here doing this. And so if it's a matter of sometimes we'll also stream it on YouTube, which I think hopefully moving forward we will be streaming on YouTube. So pretty much there's only going to be a couple streams where you won't see me stream on YouTube, and that's if I'm streaming on Penthouse. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm part of an Alestos group that we're more of a testing group than anything. But sometimes we make content. So sometimes I YouTube stream on their YouTube. So that's the only time you won't see me stream on the YouTube is if I'm streaming on Penthouse. It's a little bit harder to do what I do on Twitch on YouTube because I don't think you can like change the category of stream. But you'll know on like Twitch if you're a regular viewer. I hop all over the place. So I'll just roll with the punches. Let me move some stuff around and maybe we can find where the live stream was. Where would I have put the live stream? If we can't find the live stream box, I'll just use a different box. But I do like to try to keep the set in the box to begin with. Just to help me stay with it. I don't know how this happened, but we lost the live stream box within like 10 minutes. I'm sure it's still in the room. I just can't see it right. Oh, which is crazy. I'm not sure where we put the live stream box, but I'll just... What other box can we use then? You didn't know I streamed until today. In your defense, I don't think a lot of people know that I stream unless they come to me. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope to solve it YouTube point. I'm gonna try to make more videos. I promise. I promise. Shaq, you didn't know I streamed. That's fair. A lot of people don't know I stream on Twitch chat. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. How are you, Shaq? Welcome on. Shaq, I cannot, for the life of me, find this live stream block. I'm gonna lose it. So making me think I'm crazy or something. Good now. Support the website. Thank you, Fluky. I think right now I need more emotional support than anything. I feel like I'm going nuts. I feel like I'm going nuts. Where could this box have gone? Where could this box could have possibly disappeared to? This is crazy. There's only like 3 places in the room. The floor, the couch, because the bed's put away, and the desk. Emotional support, why thank you. You thought the link was gonna take you to Twitch. This is the first YouTube stream. So of course you wouldn't know I stream on YouTube until now. It's the first time for everything. The house elves took the box. What did the house elves want with my box? What could they possibly want with a box in the shape of a Alessia's life? Goodness me. Goodness me. Yeah, what do they want from my box? What do they want from me? How can I appease these things so that I can get my stuff there? Okay, you know what? We have another cardboard box right here. I'm gonna take all the live stream stuff, put it in this box. We'll deal. It's fine. But when faced with adversity, chat, you must learn how to adapt and overcome. Hi, Yonu. Hi, Nu. I'm Santon. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Matches. Sometimes I do want. Goofy little goobers. So I'm gonna put all the live stream in this box. Also, like, I don't know if y'all can see it, but like, all my hollows have like slightly chipped edges. Like, see this little white edge right here? It's like kind of minor, and then the top there's a little bit of a chip. It's very minor. A lot of my hollows have. Thank you, Bougie, for emotionally supporting fans. So we'll put away the live stream. We'll one day find our live stream box soon. We'll continue to yap about it. And if y'all aren't having a grand old time, y'all better start having one. Goodness me. Also, when we swap to, what's it called, Frostfall, we have to find bungalows. So this is the new bungalow. We gotta find the old. There's someone from our locals wants the bungalow. So we have to support our local thing. So, like, here's the thing, chat. As much as I am a little bit annoyed with the chipping, like, even Dionysus here has a chip on, like, there's a line and a chip. You have to remember one important thing. They had a manufacturer they were very happy with before the terror situation. And they had been working with that manufacturer and working on improving the quality control. And then the terror situation happened, which forced them to pivot to an American manufacturer so that they get things domestically made. And so unfortunately, this is the hand they were kind of dealt with. as much as I would also like, you know, better quality control and stuff, that's only something they can improve with over time. We're gonna have to roll with the punches on this one, because unfortunately they were dealt a very unfortunate hand. There's only a handful of card game manufacturers in the US, and most of them have been booked in advance for... Whoa, that was crazy. Did you see that? One person was Masters, and one person was Diamond Gaming. That's the first time I've seen that, chat. I think this is the first duel I've ever watched when two people with different ranks. Like, albeit the margin wasn't that far apart, right? I've never seen that before in a duel. Anywho. So I agree that you should voice your opinion and let them know. Obviously give them feedback. But while giving feedback, do keep in mind that, like, some of the stuff is out of their control. So as much as you do want to be, like, constructive and give proper feedback, also remember to be, you know, understanding. If that makes sense. Yeah, like, you know, it's definitely frustrating from the view of the consumer. I get that 100%. And I agree, it's a little bit frustrating for me too, because it's like, well, what if I get a cereal card and the cereal card comes chipped? That feels not great at all. That would probably make me, like, not want to, like, continue buying products, you know? Like, look, even the full art Equilinks that we traded for, look at the edge on the Equilink. Look at the bottom right edge of this Equilink. You see those white pieces? Those are chips, chat. Those are chips in the card. Like, a lot of my holos end up chipping, and people were saying that, like, they had a hard time getting the cards into sleeves and that they would chip in sleeves. Hello, Shad Hunter. Oh, Skyfall. Welcome on in. What are we opening today? We're actually just sorting bulk in anticipation for tomorrow's sundial counting stream. It does look like Edgeware, but the thing is, like, this card has been unplayed. So, like... And these are, like, the only cards that are chipped. There's, like, other cards that come chipped as well. Like, it's not just those ones. I, like, picked out one. Like, here, let me go fish out one of my commons. Like, okay, look at the boost in here. Do you see the white line right here? So there's a white line right here. There's a white specks down here and one on the edge of the card. And even if I turn the card to face away from the camera, you can still see the white edge. Like, that is just, the card comes out like chipped sometimes, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is, you know? Which, like, I totally understand if people are, like, unsatisfied with that. So we're gonna go put the live stream down. So, like, I totally get it, and I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, at a certain point, chat, you want better quality control. Keep in mind that Livestream is the first batch of cards that they've made with this manufacturer. So, like, I'm 90% sure. I don't want to speak on their behalf, but, like, I would probably like to say that Mr. Daniel Adrai probably isn't happy with this either. Like, he doesn't want chip cards. Yeah, he's also a collector. Why would a collector want chip cards, you know? So, I have been vocal about, like, a lot of stuff related to, like, calling out the edgeware, calling out the distribution issues, especially to the foreign players. Cat, a majority of Australia still doesn't have live stream. And the set has been out for, like, almost a month now. Which, sure, you can say whatever you want about, like, oh, well, it's overseas. It could be shipping late or something. That's not how you distribute a card game, you know? And on that point, it is something a little bit out of the Electro team's control, because that's on the fault of the distributor. So, you do want to be vocal about these things and be like, hey, let them know there's a problem. But at the same time, you do have to be a little bit understanding that there are inconsistencies, there are issues that sometimes they're not directly responsible for. And they can't entirely control, you know? That's just like something to keep in mind. Yeah, I also hope something gets figured out soon for the company. They've been dealing a lot of unfortunate situations, you know? So I think, like, do be upset. Want higher quality things, yeah. Want higher quality things. Oh, what? Thank you for your... Thank you for the 20p month. Good evening. Want higher quality things. But also, like, remember, with some, like, level of weight, you know, the circumstances at. I think anyone who is upset with the current quality is 100% valid. On the flip side, I think the opinion that Alestral's quality control should be better, and the fact that some of the issues with quality control outside, like, you know, from the cards are outside of Alestral's control, are two things that can exist at the exact same time. You can still acknowledge that there are issues, while also acknowledging that some of the issues are outside of the current control of Alestral's overall. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! While playing Alestral, something like that. We're watching through live as we're yapping Alestral. Very solid and, you know, very common sensory activity. So I think that's all I'm gonna really say on it. Yeah, like, I think if you're upset with the current quality, you're 100% valid for it. I agree. I wish the quality was better. On the flip side, it's also, again, you all heard my opinion, like, it's rough out here. You know, it's rough out here. Yeah. We would like things to be better. I can only hope that things will continue to get better. That's all we can hope. And how are you? How are you doing? I think if anything, streaming on YouTube also helps with yapping. You know, there's twice as many potential people to yap with. But also, I feel like I'm going to sleep. Where are all these cards? Where are these cards? Which is our box? Like, so many unaccounted active cards. Let's get up. I'm gonna look around. Hopefully I just placed this somewhere that I don't know. Right? Like, these things don't just disappear. They didn't stop existing. Surely. Surely it didn't just, like, up and disappear outside. That's completely unreasonable. Surely that's not what happened. Well, we still don't know where the live stream box is. In the meantime, we're just going to continue this. I'm also glad that the newest set has the Champion of Demeter. It's a new upgrade for Demeter card, which we picked up a couple extra copies of Demeter to send to chat. I think unironically, outside of staple rules, we should be able to make a lot of it. So, you know, that's always the hope. One can hope, one can dream. So I'm gonna sort through this and make sure that we got everything. Also, kind of a good thing with live stream is that Ask Rabbit is seeing less play. Ask Rabbit, Discord is seeing less play. Which means I don't need as many copies of it to get out. Nine, 11, 13, 15, 16, 20. We're gonna take a look at some list to double check that we got the right cards. So currently in the list was the top 3 decks are Solar Frost and Hello Shane, how are you doing? Welcome on. We're hanging out tonight. Nothing too crazy. I'm sorting through bulk. And then hopefully constructing a couple more Alestos decks to hand out. So that's the goal of today's stream. This is also a pre-stream. Kind of testing for, I have a really big sundial counting stream I have to do. And I was hoping to dual stream that on YouTube. So we're gonna dive into our Frostball bulk cap. There's a couple cards from Frostball that are definitely seeing a lot more play this we can probably sort out like popular. So first off, we're looking for a card called Cadflow. Cadflow is a 1 spirit Frostball, which allows you to ascend into a 1 or 2 spirit Frostball in your hand. So we're looking for those. Yeah, hopefully when we find them, we'll be able to load them into some kind of the goal. We're hanging out tonight, it's gonna be a pretty cool. I also want to put some 4-day services aside for the Demeanor deck. Probably also another. Hey, here's Cat. Adam. I've been busy playing the new FF Tactics game and building Gem Knights on Astral. Gem Knights is very popular right now. I think it makes a lot of sense as to why you could do it. I hope the Final Fantasy stuff has been doing it. I'm not the biggest MMO person. Ooh, more pets. I'm not the biggest MMO person, but I know there's like a... Oh, here we go. Fungal. I know there's a peel too. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I kind of like when I think of playing MMOs, I think of playing with friends. And I usually just don't know a lot of people that are into MMOs. But when we play Wizard 101 chat, we have a crew for Wizard 101. It's gonna be a grand old, very good crew at that. I can't believe there was only 2 tabs. Though it does kind of look like this box has a mix of Moonrise in it too. Also, chat, Werepup is back. Probably not in the best of ways, but Werepup is back. Gauntlet is kind of back too. So a lot to be anticipated with a lot of all the strategies seeing. Yeah, wait. You've loved gems since your release and been awesome. Tactics is a tactical blind. Oh, interesting. I don't know a lot about Final Fantasy as a what's it called? I don't know a lot about Final Fantasy as a franchise. Apologies if we make mistakes. A tactical blind. What kind of like tactical stuff? Is it like something more like Starcrafty? Is it like an RTS? Is it like a grid-based game? I don't know much about any. Is there YouTube chat on stream? Chat, you know I don't know how to do that. That is far too advanced for someone. There is no YouTube chat on this stream because I don't know how to set that up. Also, isn't it against like Twitch's terms of service or something? Yeah, just accept that sometimes I am a little bit technologically. No? Yeah, I didn't look too deep into it. Maybe after I finish sorting this book, we can watch a tutorial or something. What's that? Let's go. I love the Ghost Record. It's so cute. It makes me feel very happy. It's good based. If I've ever played Ogre Battles Tactics Reborn, I have no idea. I have no idea! She might? I'm not sure? Now, let's be honest, I don't read the chat on her stream. I just look at her because she's my wife. So you would probably be more informed on it. Well, there's a level I wouldn't do that. So in the Alexo's Kickstarter chat, we have confirmation of a couple new cards. There is a new Nexus form of Eddie. If y'all don't remember Eddie, this is what Eddie looks like. And there's a new Earth version of Eddie called Dougie, which is very interesting. I think Dougie will be very popular. There's also confirmation of a future Divine and a new set of Celestials and Nebulios. The new Divine as teased by the Kickstarter is Ares, and it seems like Ares is going to likely be a solid. which is very interesting. Yeah, we love Edward in this stuff. Oh, what? Oh, and we say everyone do the Dougie. Well, you see, Dougie is spelled like D-U-G-G-Y. But I suppose you could say that. A lot of people have made that joke. I was more like a, you know, boots with the foot type of gal, if that makes sense. But I suppose if that's your favorite, like, call to dance, that's fine too. You know, she hit the floor down. She got wrong. It is always interesting to see support from like older sets. It pays to sort through your book. It pays to sort through. I'm glad we had an ample amount of fungal and an ample amount of cat. Because we can take some of these and make like a couple packs to give away with the store. For the local game store as well. I like to do that when I can. Just because, yeah, I want to encourage new players to come. We always want more people getting in here. Yeah, we want more people to hashtag pop on the list. So we're going to now put this back into the... Oh, Snike, you're welcome on. Y'all can't see them, but we have YouTube chat on. I think after I put this box back down, like I put the non-cards we didn't sort out back into this box. We may go look up how to add YouTube chat to this stream. We'd have to find a place to put YouTube. But surely we can find a place for it, surely. Let me move some of this stuff to people. I'll get another design. How do we get YouTube? How do we get YouTube on? How does one do it? Well, Macedon was bugging out again, so y'all can avoid that. Chat, there doesn't seem to be good answers on how to add YouTube chat to stream, which is strange. Very strange. You would think that this is something that people would know. I know people who know how to do it, but... Let's see. How to add YouTube chat. OBS step by step. Launch YouTube in a browser. Open your YouTube chat. Go live. Alright, we did all of those steps. Twice. We did all of these things. From the camera's icon drop down, go live. The 3 dots in the top right. Pop out chat. Launch OBS and choose the setting for the chat box. Here. Copy. And add it to browsers with pause. Browser. We'll call this YouTube. Okay, there has to be a better way to do this. We're not doing this, chat. We're not doing this. This is bozo. This is bozo. There has to be a better way to do it than this, chat. There's no way. There has to be a real way. I've seen people do it. There has to be a real way to integrate YouTube chat. This is fake. This is fake news. Why is this so difficult? Why did they make this so difficult? I don't understand. I'm in OBS. They have a widget for YouTube thing for... I'm in it, I swear. I'm there right now. Crazy. This is crazy. What kind of sick twisted world do you live in? I don't know. We can put y'all here, I suppose. But there has to be a better way of doing this. There has to be a like, there's no way this is actually how it's done. I've seen it done other ways. Every time you think there has to be a better way, you look it up and immediately remember that Google killed their search engine. Oh. Are we really spending half of our first YouTube stream figuring out how to do this properly? There has to be a better way to do this. Like, chat, as the kids say, ain't no way that this is how this goes down. There's no way that this is like the most efficient way to do That's also like a terrible place to put YouTube. We can pretend that YouTube. I'm going to continue to search for like all of like it's 10:25 right now. We're gonna try 3 minutes of Google searching. 3 minutes. And if we don't find it in 3 minutes, I'm going to abandon the quest for the stream and we'll message someone and be like, please, please, please tell us how this works. Please. Surely someone would know, chat. Surely someone would know. Like, someone has to know. Yeah, I think we could just message one of our friends who like has already done it, but surely the internet and its power, right? The all-encompassing power of the internet would surely be able to tell us how to do it. Surely. In its infinite knowledge and wisdom, surely. Okay, we'll try how to add transparent YouTube chat to OBS. I swear there has to be a way to do this. Okay, that link did not help. Hello, Borkin, welcome on in. We're trying to figure out how to add YouTube. Reddit doesn't have the answer. I've checked like 5 Reddit threads. These people don't have the answer. They don't know what they're talking about. There has to be a way to do it without using some kind of weird third-party service. There has to be a way. Like, if it's always some kind of weird third-party service, in my opinion, ain't no one doing that. Ain't no one doing that. There has to be a way. Yeah, well, like my Google search sucks or something, which is not impossible. The internet knows all. As the woman who sat pondering my computer screen, the crustacean was like a seer peering into the infinite unknown of the orb. Here's the thing, chat. The entirety of, I'd say at least a good 80 to 70% of the entirety of all knowledge known to humankind up to this point in time is documented on this thing called the World Wide Web. However, you have to understand that information is a relative term. What I had for breakfast is information. What some random person in Idaho, USA is deciding to do next Thursday is information. Just because the information exists does not mean that it's helpful to anyone. And in the vastness of the internet, despite how far you may search, despite how wide you may search, If you are to attempt to find the information you seek, prepare to be deeply, deeply disappointed. Anyways, how do I add YouTube chat to this Ghost Dawn stream? Surely there's an answer. Surely, when it has failed us, Google search has been atrocious with the rise of AI. There has to be something. All of these tutorials just show me how to dock it into OBS. I want to show it on the screen. There has to be an answer. There has to be a way to... Why are you showing me answers on how to add Twitch? We're trying to add YouTube. Ugh, this is terrible. Chat, it's been over 3 minutes, and I still haven't found an answer. I know 3 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but I'm actually pretty good at searching things on the internet. So I'm usually very good at adjusting my search to find the proper search results. But the fact that we spent more than 10 minutes trying to find this answer is terrifying. Because as a digital immigrant, I grew up when search engines were still kind of figuring themselves out. So I think I'm not too shabby at using these things. Chat, we're so dope. We're so dope. Like a wizard? Thank you. I'm glad you think I'm, as the kids say, bait. There has to be a way. There has to be a way. Okay, maybe we have to do the dumbest search tool. There's another thing we can do, chat. How to get YouTube chat to show up on stream. OBS. Sometimes, chat, as good as you think your search result is, sometimes you have to put the least intelligent search result to find the answer. Because the most uninformed person sometimes will get the most results. So surely this will find us the answer. Surely. She said, surely. No, I'm not using your third-party extension. There has to be a way that doesn't involve a third-party extension. If I have to become an authority on how to add a YouTube chat to an OBS stream, I'm going to lose my mind. If no one has a normal tutorial for this, I'm going to lose my mind now. No, that's a browser dock. No, I'm not trying to get it on my screen. I want it in the stream. What about... Okay, pause. How to add chat on stream in OBS. The opening to this section. Now that we have the chat screen for ourselves, what about the viewers? Good job, Waterfall. This is exactly what we're looking for, Shorty. Okay. But what about adding YouTube? Gosh dang it. pause. YouTube. Okay. They had really many sections now, but you know what? This looks promising. Courses! It gives us the same result as we're seeing now. It's the exact same steps as the other one. We're so doomed, chat. We're so doomed. There has to be a better way. I will not give up, chat. I will not give up. There has to be a better way to do this. The sanctity of the sundial counting stream hinges on this, chat. It hinges on us finding the answer, okay? Only the highest production value for the sundial counting stream. At this point, we poured way too much time into this to not keep working. In the meantime, I will also send out an SOS. I think I will send out an SOS to 2 different locations. Alright. Now, with the infinite knowledge of our friends. Oh, Cabby. And perhaps the power of the internet. Probably not the power of the internet. We will figure out how to add the YouTube chat to OBS, but also make it transparent, maybe. Or at least make it so that it's better formatted than this. There has to be a better way. There has to be a better way, chat. Like, this isn't good enough. Like, this is getting close, but that's not great. We're getting closer, chat. We're getting closer, but that's not the answer. There has to be a real answer. I did see a post talking about custom CSS though, so maybe we can take a look into that. I don't know anything about coding, but we did see a post with that a little bit back. Open YouTube live chat and pop out, but pop up chat. In OBS at a new browser source. Pop up under the custom CSS. Paste the following code. Let us test if this man on GitHub, well, it's actually, you know what? This could be a woman. This woman in GitHub. We're going to test this. Yeah, we're going to test. Send the SOS flare into the sky. Surely someone will come to the rescue. No one will come to our rescue. Hello, SK Gaming. We're troubleshooters. We've been outmatched by a flightless bird jumping from a rock. Hello, Pumi. Hello, Raiders. Welcome on in. Pumi Raiders, I'm trying to learn to do something. And wait, pause. Pumi, you might know the answer. Pumi, you stream on YouTube, right, Pumi? Also, pause. Hello, Raiders. Welcome on in. The name's Santon, Xavier. Seriously, for sure. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master with the One Piece TCG. Sometimes I do. Lately, I've been getting into a card game called Alestros. And today, I'm doing my first multi-stream to YouTube. How do you get the YouTube chat to show up on stream without it being, like... How do you make it transparent like Twitch chat? How do you do that? I've been trying to search the internet on how to do that, and the internet hates me. I can't find any answers for me. This is crazy for me. I still love you. Yours only shows Twitch chat. Is that like against QoS if I have YouTube chat on? Let me shout you out. I hope you had a good stream. How is the rest of stuff? It's a way to merge chats, but by Twitch TOS you can't show other chats. Chat, we're breaking TOS. You're not allowed to show YouTube or other platforms on stream? Does that mean that every time Pippa goes live, she breaks TOS? Like, I'm no knock, chat. I'm no knock, but... Like, I'm no knock, chat. Like, I'm no knock, right, chat? I'm no knock, but I'm trying to follow the rules. I'm trying to follow the rules. Another Twitch L. So true, YouTube chat. That Twitch L. So true. Very unlikely. Because, like, when we were doing the Alesto stream with her, she had YouTube and Twitch on stream. She does it by merging them? No, she has them on two different... Chat, who was the one that was on stream with her? Chat, who was the one that was on stream with her? Pause, chat. I think I would know if I was on the stream, chat. I think I would know. Pause. We're taking a detour. I have to get to the bottom of this. Again, we're no knock, chat, so don't say anything to anyone. But I swear, like, maybe I'm misremembering it. Pushes, there's an advertisement. I guess technically she doesn't show that it's, like, there's no sign that says it's YouTube chat. They're separate on the screen. Technically you can't prove it's from YouTube if, like, there's no, like, button next to it. Right? Like, I don't know how that works. Does that make sense? Like, if there's no button, if there's no, like, icon or logo that says what platform it's from, how can Twitch prove that it, like, they just not allow chats from any other platform, or is it specifically YouTube? I digress. What I'm trying to say is, like, and I'm sure she's not the only person that does it. I've seen other people do it too. Like, there's a bajillion people that show both chats. But I will say that, like, just based off of the fact that she seems to be a larger content creator, I figured it would be okay, but I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people do it regardless. I don't know the exact rules on it. Y'all are just gonna have to deal. Like, I don't know. I don't know. That's the problem. I have no idea how that works. But I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew she had both chats on the screen. I knew I wasn't crazy. SV streamer, you know, does it. I don't know. Like we don't have to, and it's proving that this is like a very difficult process regardless. So like YouTube chat isn't making it easy for us to show YouTube chat regardless. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Was like, look, chat, I'm small fish. Like I'm small fish, right? Like this is my first ever dual stream, and we're not even like. Again, I'm not trying to make money off of YouTube. Maybe one day. But like, as it stands right now, chat, we are not YouTube monetized. We need to make a couple videos to change that fact. But we're not YouTube monetized. It's not like we're like getting anything from trying to push the YouTube stream. I just feel bad for the people who keep asking for YouTube content. I digress. Thank you for your help, Pumi and Pumi chatters. I'm sorry we dragged y'all into the wildest tangent we're on right now. We've been on this tangent for a hot minute, chat. We're going to continue to be on this tangent for a hot minute. Apologies for whoever comes to the YouTube video expecting a productive evening. Meanwhile, this. But thank you. Thank you for your input and your forewarning. We have a lot of new things to consider, chat. A lot of new factors to consider. Yeah, I think we have to look into it. I was with the try. Alright, well, you know what? We'll hear back from the people. We'll hear back from other people and see how we feel about it. If not, look, Twitch chatters. If y'all want to see the YouTube chat, I think that just means you have to watch on Twitch and YouTube. Just mute one of the two. Clearly that means if you want to engage in both chats, you're just gonna have to the poor mobile viewers. Anyway, I'm going to try one more source. Also, Pumi status. I'm also celebrating something exciting. We got our first organic commission on VG, which was very exciting. I don't know what VGen is. It's a website where you can take like art commissions. Yeah, it's a website where you can take art commissions. So that was very exciting. So it's my first Skeb style commission. What that means is they give me money and I do whatever the heck I want. Okay, it's not that simple. But Skeb is a website where you can like contact foreign artists, and one of their terms and conditions is that you can't request any revisions after that. So you send it and you just get what you get. Is there a proper style commission these days? So we're trying it. Speaking of trying it out, for the science, right? For the science, we are going to attempt to fix the chat for the science. Like, paste under custom CSS paste the following. Oh my god, it did it, kind of. Okay, well, I suppose at least this one obscure tutorial on GitHub actually delivered. I suppose we can take solace in that. The one GitHub actually delivered. And now we must nuke it. So I suppose if one day it's ever allowed, we have cracked the code one. Oh man. Get some bows away. Oh. We can now return to your regularly scheduled content. Which goes back to this quote. GitHub W, yeah. Shout out to GitHub chat. When the rest of the internet failed us, GitHub was there. We love the live twin toys. Wait, that's not. We would never give Mount Olympus to the Thunderstorm. Also, this quad is banned. The heck did that other ball? I'm just losing. Things are just disappearing into the cosmos. I'm gonna go crazy over this. We spent like half an hour trying to find an answer that only GitHub could provide. We also have to remember to try to finish Dice Valley at some point this week, chat. We need rescue. We need a rescue map. More than ever, we need rescue map. Divine healing. Good night, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Base rescue rabbit, yeah, chat. We need rescue. The new Macedor X football. Oh, really cute. Awesome. Technically, we do have stuff we could open. Technically, we do have stuff we could open. We did get our pricing from the recent one. So, you know what? Why don't we go open? Let me go grab it. A recent pricing. Hello, just the peanuts. Thank you for the 28 months. How have you been? I hope you've been well. We'll open some cardboard, chat. We'll open some cardboard. We love opening cardboard. We're getting 3 tournament pack 1s, and we have a Firestorm pack. This is, I believe these are the last tournament pack 1 packs that we may ever open. Because there's a new set of tournament packs. That'll be exciting. So first off, let's crack open this Firestorm pack we got from Placer. My poor YouTube viewers, they're like, oh, I can't wait to watch Sansely. What an unhinged first stream. Very talk. North Pole. Scout. Wicked Pop. Bunny. Boss Fight. Glory. Gavlantis. Medusa. No hits. Another spirit to the pile. We'll drop this in with the Firestorm bulk we were going to sort through. First card, Lycoris. Second card, Exotic. We're hoping to hit the Hydrate, so that I would have a playset of said Hydrate. Bulgaris and Boomerang. Though the Boomerangs, I will say, is up in value, as Boss is one of the best. Okay, we did a terrible job of opening. Edward and the Pipe. So nothing crazy. NEC's back-to-backs that might be some. The Boomerangs is definitely more popular. Exaltus is meta relevant. And you know, Marble Spirits are always we take those. We'll continue to sort through as we go. That's kind of the focus of tonight. And I think this stack was just like playable fun. Yeah. Mama Bear. See. Like. Okay, I know a lot of these cards, so I know how to sort out like playables. Oh, it doesn't hurt to like build that quote unquote on top. I look at a card and I think to myself, like, there has to be something here, surely. Usually there isn't, but surely there has to be something. I at times do desire to put. No, whether or not every card is something you can put. That's something. I believe I had a block of whether or not this actually has fire. We'll have to see. Oh, this may just have fire. Spectacular. Sparkit can see a lot of play with the moves, like that. What decisions am I not regretting? Well, for me, I have a bunch of both. So, I suppose the regret in theory, right? Would it be opening so many cards? In theory. There's a weird solar build you can do with this. I don't know how relevant it is in the opponent now, but it is something to keep in mind. So that, for me, in theory, is what we could be regretting. We'll just have to see. Will be fine. I don't think you know how much blocks I have. Well, I mean, how much bulk I have. Here's the other thing for me. Is like, it's not just me. I feel bad when trading cards go to waste. So I end up taking all the bulk from all the other people at my local card shop. Which sounds great in theory, right? You have a bunch of extra cards. But I have over 36 boxes of bulk. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with it all. Like, there's no way I can use it all. Like, it's a lot of cards. So, like, I think realistically, I have to, like... There's one or two things I can do with it, right? Either I throw it all out. It's more than 36 boxes now, by the way. Like, much more than that, by the way. 36 is just how much I've collected from other players. Like a singular player gave me 36 boxes of bulk. That's not including all the other bulk I bought. Why not sell them? I don't know how to sell on TCG Player and stuff. I was thinking that... I was thinking that maybe I can do something creative with them. Like, I could start cutting window boxes or something. Like, you'll ever see those things people do with Pokemon cards where they take, like, 20 of the same Pokemon card and they cut it out so it looks 3D or something? I don't know. Needless to say, it's not a very easy task to do any of that stuff. Not me having my TCG player off. I'm not sure if I would even have time to be a TCG player seller. Realistically speaking, we already do so much. The like cutting box thing. Like I think it would be cool if like what if I do a collection of every single Alestos card ever printed. Okay, maybe not every single one, but like all the common Alestos cards, you know? And I like cut them out. And who knows, maybe people will commission me or something. If not, maybe I'll just hand them out to people as gifts or something. Like it could be a fun little like a little arts and crafts. I think it could be fun. Like, what else am I going to do with all this stuff, realistically speaking? Some of these are playable, and I filter out the playable cards. Oh, Super Sonic, thank you for the snack. We're sorting cards, so the snack is gonna be a drink of water. Also, those of you on Twitch chat who think I'm talking to myself, we're also multi-streaming to YouTube. I'm just... We haven't figured out a good way to get YouTube chat to display. Slash, it might also be against 20. But yeah, that might be like a little fun thing to do. Is to make little window boxes of all the books. Well, Pumi, I already do that. In fact, part of sorting today's bulk is so that I can build 4 new decks to give out to my chat. I actually already, like, give out stuff to chat and, like, other people who want to try it out. I have also in the past made, like, extra little bonus packs. Like, I'll pick out all the cards that upgrade a starter deck, and I bundle them. And I give it to the LGS and I say, hey, if they buy this starter deck, give them these extra cards. And they get, like, 30 extra cards. Like, here's the problem, Pumi. I've been doing that. And I still have like 36 boxes of bulk. Like, this isn't a problem. It's so like giving out like there's not enough cards to give out to people, Pumi. I've been doing this since the summer. We still have 36 boxes of bulk, Pumi. It's a problem. How do I store them? So I pick the set that they're in, right? And then I try to organize them by element. Then I stick them into the box. And then I stack them, like, in the corner and on my shelf. Like, I have 1 billion Alestos boxes that are just sitting around. Just filled with books. And don't get me wrong, chat, I love Alestos. But, like, at some point, what am I going to do with 5 million or Scout Champions of Hestia? I could build a house with that much bulk. Maybe the landlords will let me build a house in their backyard. Surely. And like, I was going to try to give some of this like bulk to people I knew who were like selling cards. But they don't want it, because they also got a bajillion gold. So it's like, well, what do then? And my LGS doesn't sell singles. I need Saul Goodman to move all this bulk product. Oh boy. That's the thing, chat. It's like, I can't even give it to the LGS. Because, yeah, building an actual house out of quartz. What a concept. I can't even give it to my local game store because they don't sell singles. Like, if they sold singles, I could tell them literally take all of these quads and let people just pick out their favorite quads for free. I can't even do that. Yeah, like, that's what the One Piece people do, is they just donate their bulk to the quad shop. Because there's, like, other quad shops that sell One Piece singles. But the quad shop that runs Celestial sells no singles at all. What Doom chat was so Doom. Now I'm gonna put this back into the box. So we sorted out the cards that we kind of want to keep. Like, realistically speaking, I probably need to, like, have a box somewhere in my room. Well, I have a playset of every single card from every single set. But I haven't done that because I have a bajillion boxes of bulk. So it's not like I'm not gonna have the card. Okay. There's a stipulation there. I should likely have the card. But some rare cards are short. I like it. I should have at least one copy. I might not have every single copy of them. I might be missing a couple of those. The rare non-foil printed cards. I have at least one copy probably of them. Whoop! Whoop. Oh gosh, dang it, this was supposed to go in there. Cool, cool. But yeah, so it's like at some point, you know, what do I do with all these cards? It's like, maybe I'll just make a bunch of them out of window boxes. It's like, well, we'll practice. We'll learn how to cut them out and turn them into cute little art cards. I don't know, we'll do like giveaways for them or something. I don't know. Like, what am I gonna do with it, chat? What am I going to do with it? This is entirely too much bulk for one individual. And I think the bulk thing will get better with the... So, the newer sets have less packs than the older sets, chat. Older Alesso's boxes have 36 packs in them. That's 36 packs worth of bulk in each box. The newer sets have 24 because of the state of it. So, like, I suppose it's a little bit more manageable. But even then, it's just like, this is crazy. Crazy. We can build someone like poorly built homies because we don't have... We're not gonna have a lot of trickeries to give people, but we're also just not going to have like... I don't have any of the new Aviolith. The new Aviolith in the new set really makes homies a lot. And like, I have entire boxes of cards that I've set aside away from the book that are just like, yeah, we're keeping these because these are playable or meta relevant, so players might want them. It really doesn't make it much easier. Yeah, it really doesn't make it much easier. It's entirely too much fun. Entirely too much. And this is kind of my fault. Again, I did volunteer to like take these off their hands because I felt bad about it going to waste. But now that I have all this bulk, what am I supposed to do with it? Cool. Surely. Oh, Shigo Kage. Yu-Gi-Oh! Product is selling for original price. I mean, unless those bulk really doesn't sell for much either, but... Oh, cool. Oh, come on. There's not much we can do about the current state stuff. Also, chat, we might be opening some Yu-Gi-Oh! Products soon. And I know I've been talking about wanting to get into Genesis, chat. Here's the thing. Tindangle is banned in Genesis. Okay, Tindangle's not banned. Acute Cerberus is a link. Therefore, the high end of Tindangle isn't around. Alright. It's the most raid item. So like I was saying, we could probably put together a Hermes deck to give out too. It will just be missing some important like pieces. But I think it will still be fun regardless. Hermes is a really interesting card. It's one of my favorite divines actually. And I spent all of Moonrise cooking it, which is why we didn't do very well in Moonrise. I'm a big fan. I'm not even sure if Hermes won. Yeah, even... I'm not sure if Hermes even wants to win. The thing with Tindangle is that there's only a handful of Tindangle monsters that have the same link. So who knows? Am I a Tindangle? What? Wrong one, sorry. Am I a Tindangler? Does this answer your question? Let me make that bigger. Let me make that bigger. Chat, does this answer your question? Thank you. Thank you. Alright. Anyway. I may unironically be one of the best Tindangle players in the world. Top 10 even. Just forget the fact that there's only 10 of them. Just ignore the fact that there's only 10 of them. Don't think about the fact that there's only 10. Just know that I might unironically be top 10. There's also a really interesting Homie's Spin Dust build that we could probably make for someone to play. So there's a lot of potential out there. A lot of potential. I'm a big fan of Tinding. Yeah, big fan. Yeah, I wouldn't include the other. You will ask for tips if you ever take up Tingle. It's a very unique deck. I really wouldn't suggest anyone to play it. It's very much in its own. Look at a sundial. That's my goal. That's my Sundial is one of my favorite lists. It's a very cute little list. We also need to build a Volclip's Lunar Phase deck to give out. Have I tried Genesis format? I've been looking into it. I'm actually going to start hosting Genesis format tournaments, ideally. I have to figure out the logistics. I think because I want to make it friendly for people who don't play the physical TCG, I think I'm gonna host it on EDO so that people who don't have access to webcams can also. The only reason why we're not using something else like Dueling Book is I don't know how to play pay-per-view, so I can't make judge calls with Jim. So we need something that, you know... We need something that will, like, auto-do, you know, auto... We need an auto-sim, because we won't be able to make the judge rules. But they're gonna be free entry, and then the winner just gets, like, a $25 sim. I feel like that's a fun way for me to interact with the format, and once I get a little bit more info on it, you know, then maybe we can... Because I play other decks other than Tindangle. I actually play a lot of different decks. And I'm not too bad at picking up learning new decks as well. I don't think we don't know what we're doing. Thank you. Yeah, like, I think Dueling Book is a really good tool for people who actually know how to play the game. But, like, I'm not gonna make rulings on cards that came out, like, 20 years ago. I am nowhere near that informed on Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't get me started on the Royal Penguin's Garden thing, chat. Don't get me started on that. I'm not emotionally prepared for this. The auto sim will take care of that for us. I'm not emotionally prepared to keep track of the Royal Penguin's Garden, okay? If I had to judge call Royal Penguin's Garden, I would sit there and be like, I am emotionally prepared for this, but man, do I not want to have to rule this. I am only emotionally prepared for it because of Skype. Also, like, shoutouts to Skyhawk of knowing how to, like, determine tiebreakers up to the 5th tiebreaker. What a beast. I can't believe that was relevant for Kissing Me. But what a beast. That's my goal. That's my goal. Like, top 10 things I did not anticipate Skyforce having to do. I didn't even know that there was a 5th Tidewaker. But that's my goal. That's my goal. They also killed Blazoist. That they killed Blaze. I can't believe they would kill Blaze. Don't make me play DDD. It sounds boring. I can play combo. I used to know the entire 2022 Rika Sun Apple. Yeah. We haven't updated it since then because I don't want to learn the way I can like this. And I don't have it yet. I'm not a shabby duelist if you give me a claw. I also don't go out of my way to like seek these things. Yeah, we don't go out of our way to seek these things. I also need to double check all the stuff we need to order for the summer. Well, not the summer. For Lobster Week to give out as rewards. We do have to order a post. Someone applied to join the Discord. Welcome to the Discord. Macedor has been doing rooms for Genesis. Okay, so here's the thing. I was thinking of putting it into Macedor, right? But then people were saying that if I do it in Macedor, that people have to craft the cards they want to use to play in Genesis format. And some of the cards, in my opinion, I agree, are like unnecessarily UR. Like, I have a Ghostwick deck in Macedor chat, and pretty much the entirety of the Ghostwick extra deck is UR. Like, I know that the Link 1 isn't in Macedor. I mean, isn't in Genesis format because it's a Link 1, right? But I'm just saying that, like, some cards in Macedor, like, are URs for no good reason. Like, the cards aren't meta-relevant. They're, like, not very strong, but, like, some of the rogue decks are just entirely expensive for no good reason. And so, that's why at first I thought I would host them in Macedor, but when someone pointed out that there would be a little bit of a barrier to entry for some individuals who don't want to craft such cards solely for the use of a free tournament, I'm like, you know what, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Because I also like to... I do care a lot about accessibility in cards. Like, that's part of why I like Alesso so much. Because it's really cheap to get into. Like, to the point where like, I literally give out decks to chat, you know? Ultimate Slate and Dark Ruler no more. Yeah, exactly. There's certain cards that are like, are unnecessarily high, like, value. For no reason. For seemingly no reason. And this happens to a lot of archetypes. So, like, for someone who, let's say you play Macedor, and you want to play Genesis as a break from Macedor, it feels like a little bit, you know, rough if you want to play in a Genesis format tournament, but it takes place on Macedor. And now to play your favorite Genesis deck, you're like, well, do I want to spend, like, I don't know, like 300 UR just to build this deck? So, after consideration and mulling it over, that's why I decided that it's probably just not going to be on. If they introduce, like, an official format for it in Macedor, like you can do it in the duel rooms and it's completely set up, then maybe we'll start doing it on Macedor, because then it will become more common for players to build Genesis format. But until that point comes, I think it just feels a little bit more balanced to do it off with Master Duel. It's like, what if you want to play Master Duel competitively, but you want to take a break from Master Duel sometimes? You know, you want to play an alternative format of the game, which is fantasy. So from like a pragmatic standpoint, like I think that is fair to just, you know, like split the difference. I swear I keep putting cards down and like losing what I leave. Anywho. Yet again, I'm not like the most informed player on this kind of stuff, so it's not like I can properly speak to everything that should or should not. Right? These are just my opinions and my thoughts and how I feel about like adjusting things. Do I like the retro format more? So I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When Master Duel came out. So all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Experiences through Master Duel, I've been told through the years as cards caught up, like when Castile was gonna come to Master Duel, everyone was like, San Sally, oh no, Castile is coming to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, we're doomed. I'm like, well, what does Castile do? And they were like, well, it blocks your monster zones. I'm like, it blocks your monster zones? That's just numbing grub of the ice barrier. And it was like, no, San, you don't understand. You don't understand. Castile was crazy. And to this day, I really don't think Castile is that bad. But, you know. It's interesting to experience Yu-Gi-Oh! In a different way that other people have. And I like learning about Yu-Gi-Oh! History. Like all the weird cards that were super strong. Like a lot of the weird, like, sub-metas that kind of developed. It's really interesting. In terms of retro format, I've only ever played Edison format. It was a 3v3 tournament, and I don't think I would dislike the format, but my experience with the format is a little bit weird. Have I heard of Telomis? Apparently, well, I can't say that I haven't heard of it, yeah, because our goat or horse, Mr. Wayman Young Dai, was on a team with the world's greatest Telomis player. So it's not like we can ignore the fact that, like, you know, I think if Wei Dai wasn't our favorite competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Player, we could joke about not knowing which tier. But I think since everyone and their mother's uncle knows that Wei Dai is my goat, my horse, right? Like, since everyone knows Wei Dai is my goat, my horse. Like, obviously we've heard of this one. Exactly. Have you heard of our good friend, the YCS Niagara 2022 champion, 200 YCS 250 and 2023 top 32, YCS Watford 2022 top 32, WCQNA 2019 second place, World Champion 2019 competitor, YCS Cover 2018 top 54, YCS Seekers 2018 top 8, MCS number 8 champion 2023, Master Duel World Champion runner-up, YCS Indy 2444, number 8, Master Duel 2024 World Champion, Raymond Young. That's my goal. That's my goal. I didn't think tier format was that bad, to be honest. Like, I think the deck I liked the least in Master Duel was Eldritch. And that's because, like, I used to see it all the time. Like, when I first started playing. Like, you would see that in, like, the Boomer, the Doomer, like, Bronze ranks and stuff. I think I have to update Way's, like, accomplishments for the command. YouTube chat, you can't see it, but I have a block command that does the Wayman Young Die copy. Look, you can make one for me once I get real accomplishments. Once I get real accomplishments, yeah, y'all can make something, but like, my accomplishments are so fake. My accomplishments are so fake. Like, 2023 Nats for One Piece, like, that was the fakest, like, okay. It was the fakest yet realest nat ever. Okay, here's the thing, chat. So, like... Okay. I actually have, like, a very strong opinion on this. So, okay, it's very important. So... Chat. I know a lot of card games will say stuff like pricing extends to top 32. Like the by the rank duelists that get 32nd place and higher. Like, however, by definition, a like top or like a competitive card game or like any other game that has like tops, right? Tops from the standpoint of being in top cut, right, is based off of what it cuts to for top cut. So technically for my Celestial's accomplishments, because in-person open events extend top cut to top 16, I do have 2 tops for Celestial. But any other quote-unquote top for Celestial, unless you actually play out top cut and have a chance to win, and this is in like any game, I am also of the opinion that it's not a real top unless you are in the top cut to win. Whether that's day 1 or day 2, it's not like a top. You can still be proud of your accomplishments, right? For being like, okay, I consecutively get quote-unquote top 32 in the list. Like, I can be proud of that, I suppose. But from my standpoint, and I think a lot of other people's opinions as well, it is not a real top unless I'm playing in top. So, like, I have 2 real tops to my name, which is Dallas Open and Kissing Open. And even then, that is only top 6. Like, sure, like, I'll seed 7th or 5th place after Swiss, that's whatever. Like, 7-1 after Swiss, that's normal, yeah, that's whatever. Like, that's how you make sure you get into the top cut. But again, top cut will vary based on the tournament, so, like, even I say that I got quote-unquote top 64 in the Master Duel, like, anniversary tournament. I got amongst the, like, within the top 64 rated players, right? Across, like, the rankings. But technically it's not a top because I didn't play out top. And, like, I acknowledge that. Like, it's cute to say that, but it is technically not a top. So, like, Alexos is a much smaller community. So, like, a 200-player tournament, don't get me wrong, a 200-player tournament is still a sizable tournament, right? Don't get me wrong. It's still a very sizable tournament, but I guess because my perspective is coming from a game like Master Duel, or coming from a game like One Piece, where my One Piece regionals would be like 1,200 players, it just feels like a lot less, I don't know, impactful. Like, again, I'm not trying to speak down about the quality of players. It's just like from a perspective, you know, like by definition, a swap is a swap if you play out swap. I started playing Master Duel when it came out in 2022. And then I started streaming it in 2020. So technically I streamed a little bit in 2022. Sansali has been streaming Master Duel in 2020. Again, still good accomplishments to anybody who make it into, like, rank 32 or above. Like, within the top 32 players. They just did not make top cut. And that's, like, a defining difference for top. Like, this is like an actually type thing. It's very, like, minute. It's a little bit of, like, semantics as well. That's just my take on it. Is that, like, if you want to consider it a top, sure, I suppose. Though a lot of them I wouldn't really consider top for my... But some people could consider it a top, and they're allowed to be proud of their accomplishments. Because getting like in within the top 32 of players within like a 100 or 200 player tournament is still an achievement, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. Just for myself, if you ask if I have tops or something, like I really kinda don't. I have 2 by definition. What's my favorite deck in Yu-Gi-Oh? That's kind of a hard one. I really like playing Tindango. I'm a big fan of Plunder Patrol. I also really like... I have a lot of favorite decks. Like, I also really like playing Penguins. I think my favorite Pendulum deck is Abyss, actually. Probably a toss-up between Penguins, Plunder Patrol, and Tindango. Probably leaning towards Tindango only because, like... I like it for more than just the gameplay. Like, you almost see it in the 4-hour Tindango video essay that we're still working on that, by the way. Don't think I forgot about it. It takes a lot of effort to make a 4-hour video essay. That's why I'm taking so long with it. Also, we keep taking breaks from it. I keep having to lock in for a last one. I like it. There's a lot about Tindango I appreciate outside of the gameplay style as well. I think the deck is really well built in terms of like the cohesion of how the deck is supposed to play. I think it's interesting how it has different win conditions. I also really like the theming around the deck, from like where it comes from, how it plays into the source material of the deck that inspired it, as well as how certain themes from said source material is just put amongst all the... I find it interesting. I like it a lot. Tindango's cool. It's just not really good. You know, I'll play a lot of decks that aren't like very meta. But we also play Tenpai Dragon Chandra. Because Chandra's cool. Oh, Chandra. That's my goal. That's my goal. Any. So now that we sorted out most of these cards, I'm gonna double check the decks that we have to assemble. And I also need to double check what stuff we have to get together to send out for lots of week rewards. So I suppose this has turned into a productivity stream, which I personally have no issues with. I'm a big fan. I like hanging out and yapping with y'all, and if I get to be productive at the same time, that's 2 points win. Win-win. Let's go check the notification channel. And I will see what we were offering at reward incentive. A sticker, a signed doodle card. The mini cam. Hollow button. We need to get the hollow button. So that's the only thing we would be waiting on. The button. I don't think I ever showed y'all the sticker. So we can show off the sticker. In moment. I swear they were around here. And then, per usual, chat, after we fulfill Lobster Week rewards, which will probably be in like a month or two, because we need the hollow button to come in. And the poke. So the top donator gets a signed field center and a 11 by 10. Well played. What's happening right now? What's happening in Duel? Inspect the water. Took out flame. So probably sometime next year is when you can expect in the wood shop the sand pin too. Y'all weren't going for the sand pin, you can wait for the sand pin in like maybe 6 months. 4 months deal. This was designed by me. So I do the art. And then this is the sticker design. It's a semi-holographic sticker. We'll slowly get everything together. I also want to do a thing where we count the sundials. Yeah, I kind of want to name them. I'm not sure if we'll be able to. I think we'll probably go for like maybe another 30 minutes or so. It is getting kind of late. And I do kind of want to do multiple streams tomorrow. So let's finish up this for the most part. Tomorrow we're going to... Tomorrow we're going to be counting sundials. The stream entirely dedicated to... I don't know if we can do ASMR because... What I was thinking actually is that we could count sundials and then I kind of want to catch up on... So right now, League of Legends is having their World Championship. So I've been told this is a really good year to watch League of Legends World Championship. So I thought that maybe we could just watch the VODs in the background as we count sundials. But like what we would do is I would put it on mute. I would put it on mute. We would watch it, and then every now and then I would look at it in between counting. And I would have to just explain to y'all what is going on. And I thought that would be, like, funnier than actually watching World. Like, I feel like you can just watch and see what's going on the screen. Like, no one has to explain to you what's happening, I feel like. I feel like you either already know what's happening in League of Legends, or, like, even if someone explained it to you, you probably wouldn't know what's going on anyway. He summoned the Tachi on target? That's crazy. You're all for this? I'm a huge League boomer. Like, don't get me started on League of Legends chat. I'm a huge League boomer. I've been playing since... Well, okay, I stopped playing, but... I played from, like, Season 2. I think I shouldn't mute it, but isn't it funny if I mute it? What if we put on the Korean cast? The Korean cast. I had touched the game, like, briefly. Like, 1 or 2 games in Season 1, but I really didn't lock in on playing till Season 2. And then I took a little bit of a break towards the end of Season 2 and came back when they released the song. We can decide. We can decide if we want the volume on or not tomorrow. We'll just pull it at the start of the stream. We'll just pull it at the start of the stream. No, these aren't viewer. These are just... It's just dual live. It's just dual live. It's funnier than viewer replays. Because, like, who knows what's going to happen? No one. No one knows what's going to happen. We just get to witness this tomfoolery live in real time. Like, look at this. Look at this. They got 2 draw Lockwoods, a Maxi, and they just summoned a dinosaur. Viewers would never. Anyway. Oh, there's a lot of stuff I owe y'all, but we're slowly working through the backlog of everything. I also do want to genuinely play Dredge. Yeah. Dredge was super cute. I want to genuinely play Dredge. I like that game. We just have other stuff going on. Not to mention, I still have to edit videos now. Try and watch a Valorant camp. Well, here's the thing. I kinda don't care for, like, FPS games. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, thank you for that. I kinda don't care for Valorant, chat. Like, maybe you can get me to watch CS at best. I don't know, FPS games have never really caught my interest. Like, I don't have, like, the reaction speed to play for. Well, yeah, but look, 2 dual lock and bullets. Cat, they summoned the Promethean Princess. What's even going on in there? Well, that's the thing though. It's like you don't even really always need casters for FPS games. Like, you can usually follow. Like, I think the only exception to that is like Rainbow Six Siege. Like, any other like shooting game, you can see what happened. Like, oh no, that guy just shot the other guy. Like, the intent is usually very straightforward. The intent is usually pretty, like, I'm not trying to speak down on FPS games. I'm just saying from my perspective, I feel like you can normally watch, like, an FPS game of some kind and be like, okay, I understand what happened. That guy just shot the other guy, you know? Like, sure, like, I guess you can see in League of Legends that, like, someone killed someone, like, I suppose that is, like, a basic activity, right? But in most FPS games, like, the objective tends to be like a singular thing. You know, like you have, like technically like in any MOBA, right? You have a win condition on how you're supposed to win the game. The same thing with like any like FPS type, right? Like there's some objective, like you have to be the last team standing. You have to plant a ball at B or something. Like, I think you can watch CS without needing casters. I think casters could help to, like, help the uninformed, or even the informed, understand the intent behind certain actions. But I feel like I could probably just watch FPSs without them being explained to me. I feel like League of Legends, like, if you don't know MOBAs very well, as much as you try to follow what's going on, like, there's just too many champions to consistently figure out what's going on. If you don't know anything about MOBAs and you don't know anything about League of Legends. That's just my opinion. My opinion could very well be, like, wrong. Like, maybe the average person can just figure it out. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of stuff in MOBAs that, like, they'll, like, try to get you to do things. So try to get used to it. Lo and behold, I already included tabs in. I'm a genius. Well, like, the casting style is a little bit different, though. So, like... in League of Legends, they will call out ability. Versus, like, in something like CS, you have, like, flash name. You have, like, smoke. You have gun name. I understand that, like, Valorant also has, like, abilities, but... like... if someone tried to tell you that the enchanting crystal arrow shot across the map happened to hit the top lane, which allowed the jungle to come... which allowed the Jarvan Fort, which was rotating top lane, from that, you know... from the enemy's topside jungle to get the dive off into the enemy Scion, which allowed the top laner Wukong to not have to use their ultimate in the middle of that fight, under the dive. And allowed them to walk away because of the Wukong clone tanking aggro for 2 turret shots. Tell me you understood what I was trying to say with that statement, like... which is, like... okay, the counter-terrorist threw in a smoke, right? And their sniper just, like, sniped the guy, like... I understand that maybe that seems like a very oversimplification of what Counter-Strike is. But I think it is easier to understand that someone shot someone with a gun through smoke. Right? Than it is to attempt to follow something that, like, involves each character has 4 unique skills on top of items that are being built on top of, like, you know, I don't know. I'm not expecting y'all to understand that. Like, I was like, this is a fake scenario. I've never seen that play happen in my life. I've never seen an Ashe ultimate get shot from whatever lane, hit the enemy top laner, and have that Ashe player, the ADC, communicate to the jungler and the top laner that they should be diving an enemy side. I just made that up right now. But the thing is, something like that can happen in League of Legends all the time. And they're not going to, like, they could say, like, oh yes, the Ashe player used their ultimate. If you've never played a mobile, like, what would you know what an ulti even is? Like, I suppose you could infer, right? That is, like, their strongest ability. How would you know that the Ashe arrow stuns until it hits? And then, like, the casting all of this while it's happening in real time. What is a Wukong clone? What does that mean? Why is it tanking a turret? Why does the turret damage matter? They tell you that it tanked the turret damage so they didn't die. You can infer that, like, okay, that was helpful for the team because no one died. What does the jungle camp mean? Why is it significant that the J4 happened to be rotating towards top lane through the enemy jungle? How is it any different than their own jungle? How do you... What is the enemy? Like, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that if you don't know, like, the basic concept of any game, right? Like, that you won't understand. But I think on top of, like, League of Legends being a MOBA, the fact that, like, MOBAs just have more stuff going on, I feel like can make it a little bit more difficult. What is the goal in such games? So, like, the goal in, like, Counter-Strike, right, is to either, like, kill all the enemy players on the enemy team, or to properly, like, plant the bomb, or disarm, or, like, acquire the bomb, depending on which team you're on. And then there's more nuance to that, right? Like, it is a very competitive and skilled game, don't get me wrong. But, like, that's what it boils down to. League of Legends, your whole goal is to push to the enemy's side of the map by destroying their towers and sometimes killing your enemies, and destroying their nexus to win the game. Technically, the subplot of that is that if you have a big enough lead, the enemy team can choose to surrender. But TLDR, the whole goal is to sometimes kill your opponent, destroy their turret, go to their base and destroy their nexus. That is the goal. That is how you win in League of Legends. However, there's a bunch of stuff that happens before that. So like in Counter-Strike, right? Before you get to the bomb site, you would have to go through like one of two multiple routes to try to get to the bomb site to plant the bomb. Right? In League of Legends, you have to go through the laning phase. You have to get objectives. You have to destroy turrets. So it's like, when you explain it, it sounds really like basic in general, right? But when you're trying to like watch that happen in real time and there's like 3 lanes instead of like you watch the POV of like yes, there's like 5, 6 players in like a shooter game and you will see different perspectives and there's different spots on it. It's just like the contained actions in a singular round of an FPS are different than the contained actions within a singular game of a MOBA, if that makes sense. So that's why, in my opinion, it would be a little bit more difficult to follow a MOBA, which is why, like, I feel like even if I did mute the cast, if I didn't mute the casters, I don't know if anyone who doesn't understand League of Legends would even really be able to keep up with it. Even if I did leave it unmuted. Which is why part of me considered muting it. Just because, like... Not that I don't think the casters are doing a good job. But that I personally feel that there's not much the casters can do to explain the game to someone who doesn't know the game. Like, some of them will do an okay job of explaining the, like, outcome and intended actions within a certain play. And they do, like, breakdowns of plays, too, like, in the middle of the, like, stream matches, usually. Where, like, you'll see, like, them break down, like, a team fight so you can see what happened. Yeah, so, like, it's just one of those things where it's, like, if you're not familiar with it, like... If you take someone who's never played car games and you try to explain to them, like, even the simplest combo, like, try to explain to them the Salamander combo. Like, Salad has a very tried and true formula as to what they're trying to do with their combo, right? Nothing against Salad, it's just the fact of the matter is that Salad combo is very linear, right? Like, such as the nature of Cyber Step. It's a very linear combo. Not that you can't pivot. There's a lot of different lines, right, if you need to pivot. But for the most part, it's like generally the same combo most of the time. Usually the same thing with Marine says as well, right? Like, you will find yourself going into the Link one, getting the XCs, yada yada yada, like... It's a very linear line, and even a very linear line to someone who knows nothing about you, it will be difficult to follow. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, League of Legends is a difficult game for even people familiar with MOBAs to get a grasp of, and, like, the entirety of its existence. And so, to someone who knows nothing about the game, trying to watch the cast for it would probably be difficult, regardless of whether or not you had a cast. If chat's okay with us having the casting on, we'll leave the volume on, but I could also understand why some people don't want to listen. I don't think it's a big deal either way, you know. I don't mind if I leave it. I'm just out there yapping, counting sunflowers. Yo, I was also a player in Season 5. I don't really know what happens in League of Legends anymore. Yes and no. So, like... Someone told me that they were playing Callista and they were playing Dragon. Right? They were playing J4 and Callista very extensively at this world. So with my extensive knowledge of the game, that informs me that the current meta relies heavily on ranged ADCs. Like, yes, all ADCs are ranged, but hear me out. I know Callista is, like, set. I was told Callista Renata and Caitlyn. So I know Callista's not, like, the biggest ranged ADC, but here's the thing. Callista generally only sees play in either higher ranks with an established duo or in team settings. And the reason why hearing Callista Caitlyn is relevant is because Callista is also generally known to be very good into boost. And the fact that J4 is meta relevant also informs me that this is likely a boozer meta because of how often J4 is seen in boozer metas. And Caitlyn, one of the larger range ADCs, is particularly good at kiting boozers. So just hearing Callista J4 Caitlyn informs me that we're currently in a meta where, like, booster top lanes are relatively dominant. Which means junglers are probably either equally boozers or are extremely, like, CC pure, like, related junglers, most likely. To either heal the ADC or assist enemy top laners. That's just my opinion. I haven't watched the current meta of League of Legends. But based on hearing those three things, I can infer this fact. Renata also, in my opinion, confirms that. So, like, Renata Calista is a good call regardless, but Renata in particular will help keep your ADC alive and is a very peely support. So if I see there's a meta where a peel support or, like, something like Renata, which extends the lifeline of your ADC with her Undying skill, is popular, it makes me assume that we're in a boozer heavy meta, rather than something like... I guess you could play Renata into, like, an assassin type meta, I suppose. But it really makes me feel more like boozers, because J4 really doesn't do much into assassins in my opinion. Like, I suppose he's not a bad duelist. Like, J4 just consistently throughout the years in League of Legends has been seen in very boozer heavy. He's been a long time favorite for World. Reminded you of a clip where a League player tries to understand Valorant. The one esport you like to watch is Rocket League, and it's very easy to understand. But if you leave it on mute, you'll have no clue what they're talking about. I mean, it depends. Like, so Rocket League, I don't know much about Rocket League in general, so I can't speak to Rocket League. You would think the game so similar to soccer would be easy to follow. Hello, Yikes. But, like, it's just another thing where, like, if a game has a lot of, like you said, terminology that is difficult to follow, even if there are casters, it might be rough to keep up with. Like, I can't say as to which games are the easiest to follow or which aren't the easiest to follow. Like, at the end of the day, if you don't know what's going on, you're just watching stuff on the screen. Like, and it just, like, depends on the game. It has nothing to do with the casters. Like, it's again, I think part of it is just, like, the nature of certain games, certain esports, and also just, like, the nature of certain esports, the goal of the game, and I think also just, like, the casting style. Like, the casting style for certain games is probably easier to digest for some games than others, like we had discussed, you know? Let me make sure that this has, like, real... Oh, that's why they printed Blizzard ID. We don't have any copies. That would definitely be an upgrade. Oh, Nivian, peace out, Am. How are you? What just happened? 3. 1, 2, 5, 7, 12, 9, 20, 22, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 11, 15, 17, 18, 22, 23. Which means we can pick 3. Probably 1, 2, 4, 8, 14, 15. There we go. Yeah, this has all the cards. Come play Blue Protocol Star Resonate. I'm actually not really familiar with Aria as an individual. I don't know if I have time for another video game, that's the thing. I don't think it's a bad video game. I don't know if we have time for another video game. I was gonna start a Wizard 101 playthrough that maybe we'd do like twice a month or something. There's too much stuff I want to do, Chad. That's the issue I always run into. There's too many things we want. Let's consider this one a laptop. I get back to you. Wait. Rocket League is very easy to understand on that surface level if you're familiar with any sport, but it's hard to understand what's happening. The classes are saying for people due to the terminology for certain mechanics, also the way they talk. Oh, that's fair. I think that makes sense. And again, chat, I think that could be said about any game. Like, I think if you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. Like, it's the same thing with, like, things that aren't video games. Like, chat, I don't watch sports ball. Like, you play enough organized sports, I think, in elementary public schools, and maybe even private schools, to understand the general concept of events, right? Oh, Shiku. How are you? I feel like you play enough about organized sports in your school years generally to understand what's going on. I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Retro formats. I've only ever played Edison. And the reason why we had a hard time playing Edison is so we played in a 3v3 format where your team had to share card pools. Yeah, that wasn't the difficult part. I tried using Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. And luckily we were allowed to be in a call with our teammates. Halfway through trying to play my first ever match of Edison format Yu-Gi-Oh! My Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega bugged to where I physically could not read any cards. Like, everyone jokes about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Players can't read. I literally could not read my cards. And my teammates, God bless their soul, thank goodness for Rourke and Hexlet. They were trying to, like, read my card effects to me and explain how to use them. But the thing is, I also, like, didn't know how to properly use a lot of the triggers in Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega, on top of not knowing how to, like, read my cards. So I tried to equip Armory Arm to, like, Silicon. And Silicon has an effect where if something targets it, like anything at all, you can destroy the card. So I thought the prompt for attaching Armory Arm to Silicon was like, press yes. But it turns out the yes I plus yes 2 was the effect of silicon to negate armory arm. So I popped my own armory arm, and we had no win condition. Because the win condition is I make armory arm, and I attach it to the silicon, then we swing. And we were mid-tournament, so I didn't have time to, like... We were mid-game in the tournament, so I didn't have time to, like, I couldn't just close the client and restart it. That amongst, like, other bugs. So, like, I just really don't... like... My poor experience with the format has nothing to do with the... No, it wasn't Colossal Fight, it was Silicon. My poor experience with Edison as a format has nothing to do with Edison. That's the crazy part. Like, there's nothing wrong with the format. It's just the simulator I used was buggy as heck. So I couldn't even properly experience it. Like, I've co-casted, like, Edison tournaments before. I don't think there's anything wrong with retro formats. I like playing real Massive. And a lot of retro formats don't have Tendangle chat. I can't even play my favorite deck. I think Genesis is an interesting format I want to look into for like... Like, not only are a bunch of people playing it, but the thing that interests me the most about Genesis format is how reactive they seem to be with deep ban links. It feels like it's something cool I want to keep up with and watch the method developing, you know. But again, I don't have a lot of time to like do a lot of things. Like, yes, we just spent an entire stream sorting bulk. But the purpose of this stream was to test multi-stream. Because I really kind of wasn't planning on streaming today because we were going to double up on streams tomorrow. And we were supposed to go make a trip out to TwitchCon, but because of personal reasons we couldn't. But I digress. It's really hard yet to find time to do stuff, so I figure if I can't find time to play Genesis format, that's kind of my way of interacting with the format. Is hosting tournaments where I can hang out with y'all. Y'all can show me what's happening in Genesis format, you know? I think we'll have a good time with it. I like casting tournaments, actually. I used to, like, way back, in another life chat, in another life, they want high-level tournaments. I used to actually cast a couple League of Legends tournaments. So on top of, I used to coach teams for, like, casual / semi-competitive League of Legends. Like, unofficial League of Legends, like, I guess they're called, like, league? I don't know, like, groups in which teams would be entered into to, like, play in a larger team bracket. It's been years since I've done it, so I don't know, like, the proper terms, but... I used to be very into the League of Legends, like... like, not high-level competitive scene, just, like, a competitive scene for, like, mid-tier players. Like, I've coached, like, a bronze team before. I've coached some other teams, too. Like, they were usually more, like... They tended to be, like, leagues where you would play, like gold platinum teams. They were interesting. They were cute. Good time. Good time. I like casting tournaments. It's fun to, like, observe. Oh, so chat, it's been, like, 30 minutes. It is 12:20 a.m. in my time. I love y'all very much, and I like hanging out with you. But it is pretty late. I plan to do 2 streams tomorrow. We've, for the most part, sorted like 2 boxes of gold. We have 46 boxes. We have tested the multi. We have determined YouTube chat on stream is against Hunter's. We are watching the League of Legends. You're at work? Okay, well, like, sure people work the night shift, but I have 2 streams tomorrow. I think I want to. I normally have to wake up at like 5 a.m, which isn't that bad, but I normally wake up at 5 a.m to get to like my regular work schedule because I get in at 7. And California has like a atrocious commute time. I digress. So normally I get to bed around this time. So as to not break or sleep schedule too much, I think it is in. So let's go ahead and go ahead and find someone to read. Thank y'all for hanging out. I might actually send y'all into the age live. I don't know if we can. I might send y'all into the age live marathon. I don't know if I can actually raid him or not. He might have his raid blocked. So the creator of Alestos is doing like a marathon stream right now, where basically he has for 10 days, he has like, I think 6, maybe even 10, I'm not sure. He has a handful of Pokemon content creators like physically in his home, and they're all taking shit, playing, they're all taking shifts playing the new Pokemon game. So if we can raid into him, we'll send you up there. If we can't, we'll go elsewhere. Thank you. Let's see if I can send y'all to Age Live or not. He might have raids turned off because of the marathon, which makes sense. Alright, well, okay, we can raid Age Live. Let me speed up this door live so y'all don't miss what's going on. Thank y'all for hanging out. We're not doing a raid message because I think that's a little bit rude into the middle of a marathon. I think we just missed K Quay. So Kay has a schedule block, and when she streams, we just missed her, I think. I think this is the start of the next block, so it's a different person playing Pokemon. Thank y'all for hanging out, Twitch chat. Thank y'all for hanging out, YouTube. Congrats to our first YouTube stream. We're going to go ahead and start the YouTube stream. If y'all enjoy Pokemon, we're sending y'all to a Pokemon stream. If not, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hello, see y'all tomorrow, chat, for the double stream. I don't know if it's gonna be 2 separate times or just halfway through the stream, but I hope y'all have a nice rest of your day, evening, wherever you are. Do take care of yourselves, and just remember that you're all